to Synapse Pod. This is episode number 28 and we have the regulars with us. I am Paris, this is Chirag, Ayush Banka, some people missing, but okay, we'll do the best, whatever we can with 3 people. So, a super duper exciting topic today for the pod. You know, I really think the world of XR is equal to either AR or VR, RMR, is going to completely change within the next 10 to 12 days. Thanks to the Apple's most anticipated product launch probably in the past 4 years. Correct? So it is going to be breakthrough. We have been hearing rumors all around. There's no official confirmations, but there are trademark filings happening and people are saying that the June 5th event, which is the WWDC event, Worldwide Developer Conference by Apple, it is going to drop this Apple VR headset or the XR headset that they are working on. And we've seen the early few designs. They look sleek, just like Apple, but of course they are like, what do you call, fan arts. They are fan arts, but a lot of times like fan arts are not too far away from the real product. But it's all going to change. Like Meta Quest 2 is in itself such a breakthrough technology, but Apple is going to come with something of its own now. They've done so much work on OS. They've been doing it for a long time. You know, super duper excited. What are your initial thoughts on this? Let's start with that.
Definitely super excited about it. After Watch and AirPods, which was like a huge runway success. Like Watch started slow to gain the popularity, but now we can see like Apple Watches, like a lot of people are casually wearing them. So for XR, MR or the reality headset that's going to come, so the idea is that it's going to be launched again as an experimental product even by Apple, because they have internal statements have been like they're not going to ramp up the production, or they're going to like ship out few limited pieces to see how the people are like accepting the product, how they're using it. So it's going to be a very different kind of a product launch as compared to all the previous launches, because in the previous launches Apple was like straight away ready for mass production. But for this reality headset, people are saying that it's going to be an experimental thing even for Apple, because how the OS matures, how the use cases mature in the lifestyle of people, because all the products that Apple has launched in the past has been like a lifestyle product that you can use any time of the day. Whereas in reality headset, when it comes to Oculus and other products out there, we have seen that it's a very defined time when you use the product.
Yeah.
It's not a regular use case of a kind of a product. So that's why Apple is also going to be cautious. Is what
or
I
maybe
think.
That's what they are trying to change. Like
maybe that
how
happens.
Can they make it
how can
a more usable
yeah.
product?
Yeah.
I have a few thoughts on that, and I was actually thinking more about this. This feels like Tim Cook's moment of iPhone, right? This is a make or break, because just like in last episode we discussed, right? ChatGPT is a fundamental platform shift from Google, let's say, where people have suddenly started to do 100 billion plus searches in a different format where that bloody thing talks to you, right? Similarly, the mobile phone itself was a major platform which has been adopted widely across the world and been in power since last 20 years. Now and before iPhone in 2007, there was BlackBerry, there was Palm OS and all that, right? And then iPhone came and actually swept the market, opened a new economy, and suddenly the world changed. So that is what I think that Tim Cook must be trying to do with the reality headset, where suddenly the mobile is not in our hand, but finally it is a wearable. As we've been discussing since 2014, right? Yeah. This is one step closer. If literally the kind of specs that you're wearing, if the product shape or size is so usable, we might suddenly leapfrog into mixed reality as a virtual reality headset, and not a completely immersive one, but a mixed one, right? Where the real world is still present, but it is suddenly much more enhanced with the digital projections. Yeah. I can just imagine the dopamine effect it'll have on all humans, because right now we take all our dopamines from the phone and we are continuously there. And I was actually checking my screen time. It's 5.5 hours to 6 hours every day. If I look at it from a third person's perspective, imagine sitting for 6 hours just like this. That is very dystopian, zombie-ish.
Yeah.
right? I would still want to interact with the world while I'm at it, but I don't know how. Is it going to play out like what is that series called? Black Mirror? Or
No, I really don't think there's a Black Mirror event happening because tech evolves at a certain pace, no matter how fast we are evolving with tech. But still, there is a certain pace at which it evolves, and it's the question is really about how much of a big upgrade they can push above Meta Quest 2. Okay, I genuinely think it's not going to be a 10x kind of an innovation, but if it solves things that have more to do with user adoption, I think that can be the game changer rather than the underlying tech or the form factor of it. Like for example, form factor, like the concepts that we are seeing, the concept art that we are seeing right now, it looks like a
ski goggle.
Ski goggle, a ski glass, but unfortunately, ski goggles are also not a daily usable kind of a thing. But I think if it removes that stigma of a heavy object on your face, even if it's light, let's say if it's extremely light, extremely comfortable, and Apple has a track record of doing such things, right? Making extremely UX friendly products.
Yeah.
Even if they're able to crack that, because honestly, Meta Quest 2's tech is great, right? It is immersive and it is mind blowing. But for some reason, the churn is very high. Like people start using it, people love using it, and then suddenly some of the users.
We ourselves are 3 users of Meta Quest 3. Like, I tried it for 6 to 7 months, played games, and then got bored because it's bloody first chunky to put on it, and then my neck starts to hurt. Of course, they've given some back support and all, but who the fuck has time to do all of that?
Yeah.
I mean, even Apple Watch would not have been a success if it was not a very non-obtrusive kind of a product. Like, if you had to do a lot of things for your Apple Watch to use it, which we have to do for Quest 2, then this would not be a success.
Charging, as a matter of fact, they had to improve the charging life so much.
Actually, I have a theory that it is a possibility that it becomes the biggest failure of Apple after a long time. Like, I'll tell you why. Because it's a possibility. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's a strong possibility. The year that they did Apple Watch, it took them like 3-4 years to get really in the momentum which you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Which is a complex product. But so many good products existed before that. Like the Fitbits of the world were there. They were doing R&D for 4-5 years before that.
Fitness was a proven product.
Fitness on watch was going to happen. Like it was proven market. Then they did an even simpler product, which was the AirPods.
Yeah.
Like the earphones existed in the world. They did AirPods. Even that took actually 2-3 years. Like after the second or third year, their sales really flew. It was not like they dropped AirPods and market went mad. No, like it took its own time of first the loyal users will adopt. Then somehow the word of mouth kicks in. It's not like everyone is dying to buy an Apple. I think people are dying to buy an Apple, but that's a certain user base.
Yeah.
Now with the price point which is anticipated, like I'm saying AirPods journey or Apple Watch's journey is the journey of a $200 product or a $250 product.
Yeah.
Now suddenly the price point is expected to be at $3,000. So even the adoption in the loyal fan base sort of goes down.
Yeah.
So will it really hit that flywheel?
Yeah.
Or how extraordinary will it have to be to go viral with this relatively small user base that they will get initially for the first version?
To be very honest, Paras, I really hope and think that it does not need to be at all revolutionary because it's Apple. If I would seriously think, I don't even need a mixed reality, to be very honest.
Yeah.
All I need is a simple Apple specs, right? Which looks like something which I use is wearing. Music functionality, like Bose has launched their own glasses, and Leaf has itself launched our own music glasses, right? Which can connect with your phone for Bluetooth music functionality. What Google Glass tried to do in 2013 or 14, show the incoming notification in a very small form. There is some camera which Snapchat has tried to do, right? Record the moments or just tap and click a picture which syncs to your phone. These kind of small functionalities, bundle it up in 5-6 kind of a use case and just partner with Carl Zeiss and give lenses, right? Which is powered and non-powered. I think to start with this reality one, that should be okay. It would suddenly be just like people have started to wear a lot of Apple Watches and it has become a status symbol. Apple is god of lust, that should do. And then as progressively the technology updates, prioritizing user form factor and usage form factor much more than feature form factor. I think that should, just like you remember when iPhone came, it had nothing. App Store wasn't even launched. It was just 6-7 apps. The whole crazy thing was, whoa, there is a screen.
Touch, rotation, GPS.
What if another go-to-market for reality headset could be what they did with schools in US? Like, there's an iPad available to every student in school in US. So what if directly going to the enterprise and then eventually maturing the product and like bringing the cost down, form factor down in the coming years for the overall public? So that
is also MetaQuest's strategy. Like Meta
correct.
did a lot of B2B sales with these huge corporate giants.
Maybe this product is successful there as a market than a direct consumer.
So the way I think it is that you know gaming is like bigger than movies and music global industry combined.
Right.
It is such a huge industry.
Yeah.
Microsoft has got Xbox. Right?
Yeah, we were discussing that the other day.
Sony has PlayStation. For PC there is Steam, but Apple could not really come out with a gaming.
But
product.
Apple has the arcade, right?
Apple has the software
gaming
side
arcade,
of it. But
there's no
on
hardware of it.
There's no
on
hardware.
the hardware front, like the launcher on the hardware ecosystem, like they could not do in the right time. What if this is their moment to be the leaders in
gaming?
You mean a reality headset connected to a gaming console with a Game Pass kind of a subscription?
No, reality headset being the gaming console.
But
Like
and with a
entirely.
And cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming.
They can. What I think is they could have always convinced these huge gaming titles to come to, let's say, Apple's console.
Yeah.
Right.
But it would really not have much of a differentiator. What if this time this is their moment to go against Xbox and the PlayStation of the world to really capture this gaming market by its neck from the hardware ecosystem?
And I wouldn't be surprised because Apple did that with, let's say, TV, with Apple TV and then Apple TV Plus. It became an OTT.
Yeah.
So it tried to get into the entertainment market. Now it produces its own shows and everything, right? So it's a competitor to Netflix in some way. There is nothing seen with respect to console play and the $300 billion gaming market, which Apple has rarely tried to enter into.
Right.
They've always entered into it with respect to mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Right, but there's no console. There's no 5,000 rupee or $100 games which are being bought on Apple, and which is the major market. Esports, all of this is still left out, and I think, but Apple has a AR gaming kind of an arcade where people can actually play on a table and then etc. It can be multiplayer gaming, but that real hardcore AAA games has not been in Apple's ecosystem till yet.
What's the cost of a PS5? Latest one?
40 to 50k. That's like $700 to $800.
Got it. So even if it's for game, 3,000 markup is going to be a much high premium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the adoption in the masses is going to be really questionable at that price point.
Yeah.
Enterprise, yes. Pro gamers, maybe.
But do you think, because Apple has never launched a MacBook specifically for gamers?
They haven't.
They haven't, right?
They haven't.
So if they did
They
not
make
do that,
MacBook like powerful enough for game.
That game, medium kind of a games can also play, but that's not an Alienware.
No, like even if they sell like the hardest of the computing powers in their iMacs, more focus is actually on creators. Rather than gamers.
Gamers.
Yeah.
Of course, but the same GPUs can also fire for games, but somehow in their communication it has been always about creators a lot more than gamers. They haven't really come after the games market. Like of course they have the developer platform etc. for Macs, but not yet. Like this might be they haven't, and they really haven't lost an OS war since iPhone. Like iPhone, smartphones was the last big OS war, right? Like right now it's happening on this computing platform, which is XR.
Yeah.
So XROS, the trademark has more to it than a trademark. I think the game will be that only.
Yeah. What's about the XROS, Paras? If you can just tell our audience.
So OS is like an operating system, the software on which the whole, like the hardware has got the software inside. Like iOS is the OS, is the operating system. iPhone is the hardware. Similarly, Apple's VR headset is going to be the hardware, and XROS is going to be the operating system. And on top of that operating system is when people will build applications, right? They can be game apps, they can be productivity apps like WhatsApp, email, or it can be entertainment apps like Netflix, like you are going to have an immersive experience. So a lot of apps are going to be built on top of this, and yeah, it will be another parallel computing platform. Like you've got PC or / Mac / laptop, then you've got smartphones. Now comes XR.
So with respect to categories, Paras, what do you think will be corely the focus of Apple? Of course, gaming that we have discussed.
Yeah.
What else do you think Apple focus on in terms of the first go-to-market or target categories for this?
Like if I have to completely ignore gaming, because my bias is that this is their moment to come into gaming. But let's say if I remove gaming out of the picture, I think one word that defines Apple for me, and I'm a new user to Mac also, so of course I've got my biases, but they make a person a productivity machine, right? I've seen the most productive people actually use Apple AirPods because they are so intuitive, like built very smartly. And then the most productive of the people use Macs, right? With the VR headset, there is a big opportunity to increase productivity of a human. Let's say for people who want to work on the go, or people who don't like looking at a screen a lot of times. Like do you remember, Ayush, we were discussing one day, I was having lunch, and I told that what is the view that we see the most apart from screens in this life?
Our colleagues.
No, it's actually the wall behind the screen. Because when I'm looking at the screen, I'm working on the screen. When I'm not working on the screen, I'm just not looking at the screen, looking at the wall behind it. Or it's always in my periphery that.
I mean, if there is a wall, otherwise it can be an open space or.
No, it's sitting in a garden. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's some
It's
view
inside an office space.
It's a view behind your screen, right?
Yeah.
Why does that view behind your screen has to be something so dull or useless, or not entertaining? Like, what if that's something better? So there are so many possibilities with XR, right? Multiple ways in which it can increase someone's productivity. So probably productivity is the thing that Apple goes after.
Yeah, and I've seen that Apple never, of course it used to do this in 1980s, but it has never launched a specific suite of product for businesses. Right? It launches a product and it is applicable to consumer, businesses, XYZ, everyone.
Yeah.
Whether that's Apple Watch, that's MacBooks, that's iPads.
Yeah.
Of course, it puts some focus on education. iPad for education, right?
iPad was for creators,
and then
the stylus was for the pencil was for creators.
Yeah, and then it also like an education program where it gives some subsidy.
No, Apple Apple did that for health.
Collaborated with the right kinds of people, right?
Yeah,
to
exactly.
develop it,
Like heart rate tracking,
Yeah.
all those like environmental noise and all those things. So Apple
Yeah.
Watch was focused towards health or sports like waterproof and all those things. So they have been doing these focused marketing campaigns around a product.
No, but they don't have an enterprise line of products.
Yeah,
Definitely,
they don't have
enterprise is something going to be very different.
What's that weapon-like laptop that people carry?
Alien there.
No,
ThinkPad?
Like
ThinkPad.
black, boxy.
Yeah, Lenovo ThinkPad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Weapon
Don't
like.
enterprise
I
product.
see how you call it weapon like.
Weapon-like. Throw it at someone, will die.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true with Apple. That they usually launch something that can be acceptable by the
By the mass.
Yeah.
By the normal end
normal
user also.
users
Yeah.
instead of just enterprise.
Do you think that once this Reality Pro headset comes live, right? What use cases do you think it would help you in your daily life? If you can think of just one or two, right? For example, I use the kind of glasses that you're wearing right now. If it was Apple's Reality glass, right? What would you do with it? What do you expect it to at least do, which can either increase your productivity, entertain you, help you connect more deeply with friends, family? What kind of a use case do you imagine?
I mean, I do a lot of video calls.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing a video call on a laptop, I have to like look straight and like focus on the screen while talking. So that's a very constructed way of doing a meeting. Whereas if I'm doing a meeting in person, I can like move around, look around, like think something. So I mean, that's going to be a very free 360-degree kind of a view to me if I'm wearing my glass and having the meeting based on that. So that video connectivity using glass would be much immersive and much better for me, I think.
Yeah, no, that's actually fantastic. Right now, I just think that when I have to take a video call, I am restricted to sitting.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
If I could just go about my day, right? If I'm walking in a park or I'm cooking something, but for the other people, and I can, of course, listen and think and talk as
Right.
I'm walking about with my friends or family, right? I don't need to have all my meetings sitting in a place, right? If I'm just continuing with my day, but over the other side, the projection is coming that I'm looking at the screen and talking, and there is some kind of an eye tracking built. Right now, we have seen some AIs, which even if I'm looking there to the person who's watching my face, it can manipulate
Yeah,
my
exactly.
video image and I can talk straight.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't want to. Meetings all around is fine, but I don't want to be restricted to a location sitting and staring at a bloody screen
Correct.
while I'm having. No, yeah, that's actually a great productivity hack. I could just go about my go about my day, and there could be some noise filtering algorithm where even if I'm in a supermarket with my wife shopping, let's say, I can still converse just
Right.
like a phone call.
Exactly.
Just
So
like a
it's
phone
more
call.
of a very flexible and very free manner you can
Yeah.
talk to people instead of constricted to a phone or a laptop. I
Yeah,
would say.
I can take a phone call wherever, whenever, right?
Exactly.
In a similar way, if I could just take my video meetings and it could be more immersive.
Yeah.
What do you think, Paras? One use case for you if you were wearing a. Will you start to wear this glass first of all?
Not like at all.
Because you don't wear any glasses.
I don't wear any watches also. Like,
Yeah.
my company makes smart watches, but I don't wear watches in general. I don't like anything constricting around.
Right. Share price just
Just-
dropped because founder doesn't wear it. Yeah.
Apple's share price will drop because I don't wear Apple watches.
Yeah.
No, so I think one big thing can be that this behavior can be removed for people who wear smartwatches. Like, suddenly you don't have to do anything to access a screen.
Yeah.
The screen is right there whenever you need it. And I'm not just talking about the watch screen. I'm talking about the phone screen.
Any
So for
any
example,
other screen.
like this is what I imagine. Like what I'll be very excited to do with my AR VR MR class is that I have this random bouts of curiosity a lot of times, which I want it to kick. Like for example, if I'm driving in a car somewhere, I see some building. I want to know what is this building. But in that moment, I can't take my phone out. I can't take my Apple Watch. I can't really look at it. I can't give the context to Siri through voice.
Yeah.
With this, maybe I'll be able to, hey, what am I looking at? Like, how cool would that be? I can just ask, hey, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at a person, what am I looking at?
Hmm.
And it tells me everything about the person that they can access. I'm looking at a building, what am I looking at? I'm looking at this art, what am I looking at? Like,
Yeah.
I think we'll genuinely become much more curious people because
Yeah.
our curiosity will be fed so much in real time
Yeah.
without any lags.
Yeah.
Like I can ask what is this Buddha statue about and why are there so many gemstones around his forehead? So maybe there is some context. They've got Siri, they've got image capture, and they've got my POV now suddenly.
Yeah.
Not just video capture, they've got my POV.
Yeah.
Like I think this can go really big. Like this can be the next frontier of search for example. Like people are saying GPT is the next frontier of search. What if like this is next level search? Like you're looking at it, you're asking.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. Like I've tried to do that with Google Lens.
Google
but-
Lens, right?
Google Lens
Yeah.
is cool. Yeah.
Since the day I really realized what all Google Lens can do. For example, I was at a mountain in San Francisco, and I went there hiking with a friend, and then I saw this lake. I was like, what lake is this? What's the name of this lake? So I took out the Google app, took a photo of it, and it told me the name of the lake because so many people have posted
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
photo, and
Correct.
it's geotagged. I was like,
So the existence of Google Lens is like one proof of that behavior that a lot of people actually click to know what is that.
Yeah.
I
thing.
taught my girlfriend like how to click picture of let's say this object and find this on Google because you can do this now. You can click this and click on the shopping tab on Google and you'll get to buy it.
Yeah.
Like remove
Life has
the
changed.
inefficiency of taking out the phone also. You're like, hey, how much is this for?
Yeah.
Just tell me and
Yeah.
how can I buy it?
Yeah.
Like shopping, search, so much commerce.
So much
can happen with
so
this.
much
right?
can happen.
Commerce, a lot of.
I think
commerce
this
can happen.
idea that suddenly the crazy computing device that's my phone has
Your POV.
my POV all the time.
Kimchi.
And with 5G coming in, it's going to be crazy because I see my upload speeds and download speeds on 5G. It's insane. It's like 700, 800 Mbps. So,
Do you remember when so our first salary that we ever got from Leaf, Chirag and I, we bought the Xbox.
Yeah.
The second we bought Apple Watch.
Yeah.
It was our first edition that had just launched. Okay?
Yeah.
This is around 2015, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And there was this feature in the first edition of Apple Watch, which was that you can share your heartbeat with someone.
yeah.
Right? So
If you can share your POV? Oh, damn. Yeah. What was that app
Game-changing.
called? What was that app called which Twitter bought? You
Periscope.
remember?
Periscope.
Periscope.
That's live.
Yeah, people would live stream
Doing
their
the live stream and
moments,
Live
right?
stream is, yes, definite
That's
live
it.
stream. But this thing of, I want someone to see this.
Oh
Whatever
yeah,
that-
correct.
That's
we-
crazy.
Things which we do
Sharing the
impromptu
moments.
video calls for,
Yeah.
or we take out photos for. Like you're not taking out phone for photos. You're
It's
not
like
taking out
FaceTime.
photo to account.
Yeah, you show live.
FaceTiming.
You show it live.
Apple already has FaceTime
With the
built in, so that just put it in the.
Yeah, you show it
reality
live.
outside.
That would be crazy. But for me, like one hardcore use case would be I hate switching tabs
Oh,
in my laptop, and I'm just looking at it from a productivity point of view and from a regression point of view. That Apple builds products which are regressive to other products, and there is some chain link to it, right? Some connection. So I think Reality Pro headset will be mostly working with my MacBook and for work productivity. If I'm opening a certain tab, suddenly I can see 2 more tabs here. And then I can just look up and I can just and there would be no need of another external device like the joystick controllers that that your Meta Quest has. I could just use my fingers again, just like we did with no stylus. My fingers were enough to navigate a phone. I can just pinch and put it here, and because there's a camera, it can track my motion, right? That would be super cool for me if I can just copy paste, right, or just switch a tab screen.
It
And
gives me-
gestures could
Yeah, it
finally
gives me an
come
idea.
in.
For example, if I'm an artist, I'm like drawing some wall art. I just look up and like put that art.
Yeah,
in
you
front
just
of me.
pinch and then throw. Like if pinch to zoom,
I can visualize that wall art directly.
Imagine if pinch to zoom could come in real world. I'm looking there, pinch to zoom. Suddenly I can zoom into that lamp.
That's
or-
a very Iron Man kind
that
of a
would
feel.
be crazy.
Yeah,
That would flip me, man.
Yeah.
I would just buy it for that. Click a
Like,
picture.
Is
Yeah.
it also possible, like,
Yeah.
thought experiment, is it also possible that a lot of appliances that we use for controlling things like remote controls, especially,
Yeah.
they just become hard objects for touch and feel? Like, what if you get a plastic or some cardboard shit, and now you're playing your game, but everything is your fingers are being tracked somehow.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you're just moving it on an object.
Yeah.
It's not really connected. Connected is this.
You remember that guy? You
It's
remember
a
that guy
dumb
called
shit.
Pranav Mistry,
Mhm.
who developed Sixth Sense?
Mhm.
There's a TED talk which other people can see. Like he actually did pinch to zoom in real world, and he was using cameras. So I think maybe you remember we were really talking about in one point of time in 2015-16 about gestures,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gestures, getting into
There
computing.
was some Google project called Project Soil or something.
Yes,
Yes,
Solly.
Solly.
Project Solly.
Solly.
Yeah, which
Just
was
that
like
the gestures are very complex and complicated to understand
Yeah.
for a human, so that's
Yeah.
why.
We don't have a standard for
Correct.
gestures.
Gesture.
But we
Yes,
have it
and
for
for
pinch
language.
to zoom and all.
Correct.
We have for pinch to zoom. We have for swiping.
Joystick is a standard. Keyboard.
We
is
have
a
for
standard.
grabbing.
Yeah.
Right. So these kind of common gestures are there. If cameras are being fit inside my, let's say, glasses, I think this may be a big way for gestures.
Like when we want to look at something very closely, like we
pinch our eyes,
or
squeeze our
something,
eyes.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that can be gesture enough to give
Yeah.
a prompt. Do you want to zoom in? Like
Yeah. Or automatic. Yeah. Or if
That
there
would
is too
need-
much
that
of
would need a lot of sensors actually, and that
But
would-
the eye
again,
tracking sensors are already
Eye
there
tracking
inside,
is
right?
there.
yeah, but the more processing you add in the sensor, then the more battery power it consumes, all those things. But yeah, eventually, yes, we'll get to.
Like the biggest disappointment for me would be that it's just a Bluetooth connected or
No.
Wi-Fi connected.
Or imagine all.
It's useless without a back.
Bro, imagine our phone has that true tone sensor, right?
Yeah.
Which can dim the screen light or brighten it based on the sunlight that is falling.
Correct.
Or the brightness. What if Apple disrupts the whole glass industry? Sunglasses industry. You go out, there is a brightness sensor, you suddenly get a tint. And your Apple glasses are black. Ray-Ban, bye-bye. That can also, they're just a bloody sensor. And these kind of things it could literally own our perspective and view. So I think it's a crazy industry.
Yes.
But let's see if it's get unlocked.
Endless possibilities.
Endless
so much to look forward to. June 5th is the date. Let's hope-
Anticipated.
Anticipated. Let's hope it launches
Yeah.
and it changes the industry forever. You want to say something?
On June 5th, we'll be in US.
Will we in
We'll
US?
be in US, so we can actually feel that.
You can feel
buzz,
the rush.
Feel the buzz, feel the rush.
And
He'll say one more thing, and I think people will lose their
oh
shit.
my god.
Yeah.
And also I think that I hope Apple and Tim Cook, I'm addressing directly to you. You see this episode after you have launched your reality headset and take ideas so you can launch a better version too.
Good. Feel free to react to this importance. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. This was super duper fun chatting with all of you, and please do do comment what you think about this. Do share your concepts, your views on what Apple can do with their XR headset, and don't forget to like, share,
Subscribe.
Comment.
comment. Thank you so much. This was fun. Bye.
Bye.